First and foremost, I want to start this out by saying that the Earth is our homeland. Um, we all are of the Earth, from the Earth, and we have equal rights to the Earth. Um, and we can talk about our tribes and our nations, our clans, and empires, and so on, but no one has a greater claim to the Earth than anybody else who is on the Earth. All right? Now, Root Words One did a video a month ago about. It's entitled "While Queen Califia Old Empire Part One: Old Forts and Castles in America." This is his channel, and I spoke about this in a few videos before, but he went into a 3-hour video into it. It was pretty good on the layouts of North America. And what's important is that it gives a better overview of what the North America looked like in 300, 400, 500 years ago. Now, we're talking a lot about history and trying to uncover what is being hidden from us and what is particularly given to spoon fed to us to deceive us and to just separate us from our legacy, our heritage. But if you're looking at maps, especially Google Maps, I made a video prior about how the maps are set up with the Eurocentric viewpoint to show a Euro dominance, and it's full of lies. It's banned in many countries, like Google Maps is banned in India and so on. It's not accurate. They tell us it's satellite images and we're seeing the Earth as it is. No, it's drawn for us, and you better believe that. Now, the problem is we're all just sitting and reading, which is great, but we need to start getting people out there and start exploring and start putting this stuff together and start creating new maps and start teaching from firsthand experience instead of from what they read. Now, I have a few maps that I wanted to bring out. Well, Root Words, check out his video. He talks about the old forts and castles and how they overlooked rivers. And what we are used to now is roads everywhere, and highways, super highways. We see concrete and we tend to forget how many bridges that we go across. Some of them, sometimes we don't even notice we're going across a bridge. We see these maps that show one large landmass, but the fact is that there's a lot more water there than they are letting us visualize. And they're doing this for a reason. And this is also a reason why we're paying for water, because we don't realize that water is everywhere. But that's what I want to do. I want to show some of these images that I compiled. It gives a better glimpse of how we used to travel. Now, camels were available in North America. As a matter of fact, it's mentioned that I did a video how it said that camels are from North America. There's other videos speaking about how elephants are from North America, or were at least in North America prominently before colonial powers took over. Of course, the other big animals, the bison and so on, horses. We did use these forms of transportations, but the primary form of transportation was the canoe in the Americas. And that's why, if you notice, every major city is built on a river or intersecting rivers. Just look at any major city, and just outline where the rivers are through those cities, and you'll see why those cities are set up there. In fact, modern cities are built were not, they didn't build those cities. The cities already existed, they built on top of them, right? But I came across this image. I'm not even sure exactly what I'm looking at, but I guess it's supposed to be the Great Lakes in Michigan and Illinois and Pennsylvania. Oh, there it is. You see in the upper corner, the upper right corner. You see the supposed United States. You had look like one landmass, but then you zoom in and you see all these waterways, right? I'm told that the Great Lakes are, which they see, it says on this map, Sea North and Sea West. It doesn't even call them lakes because, you know, a lake is fully enclosed. But as we'll see in these other images, that they are not fully enclosed. You can actually get to the Atlantic from the Great Lakes. And there is other rivers, the Mississippi River, it feeds. So they are not lakes at all. But look at all these waterways. And so I mentioned our primary form of transportation was the canoe. And I don't know anybody calling themselves Aboriginal, Indians, Americans, or whatever, or even tribal Africans, Pan-Africans, because the same is for them. If you go to some African countries today, you would go to the shore and it'd be nothing but wooden boats, and everybody's on a boat sailing. Same in everywhere in Asia. We're people of the rivers and lakes. Speaking of lakes, side note, look at all the names of the lakes in North America and tell me, all those jokes there are about the quote unquote black girl names being these weird made up names, and then look at those names of the lakes in North America and tell me that they don't sound the same. All right. But here's an older map from the book that I featured on here a few times. America from, America, Mexico, Peru. From the book was from like dated 1610 or something like that. But this is one of the maps in the early on in the book. But I've seen people making videos about this week. In fact, what you notice about this early map is look at California. Look at California. Matter of fact, the one I saw on somebody else featured on them on their video showed California smaller, but this goes all the way up to Washington. It's an island, or it was an island. I don't know. Maybe it's still an island. You got to go a bridge to go across there. Somebody should be doing the fact checking. Or maybe because of all the dams that they built, that the water doesn't flow between as much as it used to. But anyway, California's island. We don't see that on the modern maps anymore, do we? Go back to this other picture. California, right? When we see that image in the upper right corner, it shows California as being attached to the continent, right? But this one shows it completely surrounded by water on every corner. We'll get back to that. Is that all we got? All right, let's see what we got. The waterways. Look at this waterway. This is called the Great Loop. North America's Great Loop. Those involved in sailing and I've been visiting quite a few of the sailing communities online, and outside of one in California, I don't see any Aboriginal people looking people. I see all European people in those communities. Why is that? How did we go from being people of the rivers, lakes, waterways, canoe people, to not even sailing at all, not even owning one canoe? All in the cities. Now we're called urban. See how they do us? But here's the great loop. Here's a list on the waterway. So all these waterways are connected. So you can sail from New York to Houston, or New York to Shreveport, or New York to Nashville, or to Chicago, or from Minneapolis to Chicago, to Tulsa, to Birmingham, Alabama. It's all connected. These are all waterways, and that's the Great Loop. And people say, I think it's like 5,500 miles to do a lap, just without going to the extra places. Just do a lap in that loop. 5,500 miles. Some people do it in 40 days. A lap around that loop. There's more from the site. Apparently, there are a lot of these. I think these what is this? Travel days. Figure 5,429 miles. He mapped out how many days it took him to get where they start. Number one, they went north from Fort Pierce, Florida, and 30 days later they were in what's that? DC. Looks right near DC. 60 days they were in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. Well, two alternative routes. There's an inside route and there's an outside route. They did this trip a few times, apparently. And that's the website. You can go check out the Great Loop. What I would like to see is more videos on this, and that's what Root Words told everybody watching to make some more videos on it, get the word out. We want people to get out there, start building. Look at this. This is a canoe. It's called a double canoe. Found all over the world. Hawaii, particularly Polynesian canoes. This one is built as a houseboat. It has a little covered area. I consider this a houseboat. This a little one. This another one. Has a sail on it. I think they all have sails on them. This one has a sail on it. Now, this is a pretty small canoe, but from what I understand of the stories with the Maori people, used to sail on something similar to this, riding ocean currents from New Zealand to Florida in North America in 15 days, because they knew when to sail and they knew when the ocean currents were flowing, and they didn't go against the currents, they went with the currents, and they rode along the coast and across the oceans until they got there. And we used to do this quite frequently to observe celestial events. If we know this moon, the planets were aligning on this part of the earth, we would go to that celebration and back and forth. So this whole notion that we were all people on the land stuck there, and that that the Europeans found the people who were of that place, is a false notion, because not only were there nomadic people on land, but we were canoe people. We sailed the oceans. They were the last people to set sail, to learn to sail. So they only know the regions from where they were. It's their story. They was trying to figure out how to get to outside of where they were from. But what they find out was everyone else was doing this quite a bit longer than them. But they built warships and they shut that down. Here's if you're on the East Coast, you kind of see it on this map a little bit. No, not in this one. Yeah, not really here either. So, because I don't know if you can go from where this ends, but this river in Philadelphia, the Delaware River, it goes from Deposit, New York, down to the 3 points where New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania meets. Yeah, Port Jervis, all the way down along New York and New Jersey. Pennsylvania and New Jersey, all the way down to Philadelphia. This is New Hope, New Jersey, New Hope, Pennsylvania, Lambertsville, New Jersey, but it goes down to Philadelphia into the Atlantic to Delaware. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Root Words, and I'm going to do some more videos on this because I bought some books and I for sure will be buying or building a canoe or a boat or something, and I would be out there fishing and sailing and maybe map making. Everyone else, get to work. Matter of fact, hit me up if you want to do something together.